everyone. You know what? It is Tuesday. Tuesday, I tell you, the 27th of July. Welcome, people. Welcome. How we doing tonight? How is your Tuesday? How is your Tuesday? Tell me about your day. Hey, Kitty's here. Hi, Kitty. How are you tonight? How are things in Illinois today? Tell me about your day and what you are excited about. That's what I want to know. What are you guys grateful for? That is what I want to know. Hey, Adele and Dazzle are here. Dazzle, it is treat time. Treat time, I tell you. Yes, it is. What I got on my thing? Oh, yeah, that was something I was going to talk about today. So many things on my piles. You know, that is a good problem to have, Kitty, that you're falling behind on getting things inputted because you're so busy with customers. I love that kind of problem, but I very much understand it. I very much understand that problem, but I'm glad you're watching it. I'm glad you're keeping an eye on it, because if you're measuring it, if you're watching it, you can improve it. So that is the important lesson there. That if you are doing that, you can improve it. You will improve it. It will happen. And that's exciting. That is exciting. It's, this is the season. We had incredible incoming. Well, let me rephrase that. From the security cameras, it looked incredible. Let me hit a button here and see if it was really incredible. Let me see here. I will confirm. Survey says we had a great number of incoming clothing today. So the camera view and the reality lined in. Cassandra was in the clothing stores around 11 o'clock, and she's like, receiving so slow today. We've only had like 5 baskets. I'm like, well, between 1 and 3 yesterday, they got most of their baskets of the day. They had 65 baskets or something between 1 and 3 yesterday. And today I didn't look at the times on it, but I know we ended out with over 70 baskets of clothing in. So I know that it did come in. A couple times I looked at the cameras, I saw lots and lots of people dropping off. They're like, we got to restock you. You just sold all this stuff in your big sale, and we got to restock you. So that is a wonderful thing. It is a blessing. It is a blessing. Hey, Michelle, how are you? It is great to have you here. It is great to have you here. We might end out delaying dating just a little bit because my phone's been a little bit on fire today with some things that we got to talk about. So let me get started here because I don't want to hold you up, and there's a lot we got to talk about. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program tonight. The Good Morning, Good Night book. And tonight, if you're following along in the book, we're on page 72. 72. Our good morning tonight is things may never be like this again. That could be good news or bad news to you, but it's true nonetheless. Good morning. Are you looking for dating tips for Grandpa? For Gramps, Michelle? I mean, you've got the Czech billionaire lined up. Hey, I like it, Kitty. The buyouts buy it in the morning, sell it in the afternoon. For you, we're gonna line you up with one of those billionaires, Michelle. One of those billionaires. You're a hot ticket. You're a hot ticket. I like this quote tonight. Don't get tied up in thinking you know it all. The best advice I ever got is when you travel, take advice from a traveler. Always be learning. Always be learning, people. Always be open-minded to learning. Always be open-minded. Okay, I'm gonna skip all that stuff because that's stuff for another day. Okay, so we got a few things to talk about tonight, and they are the big things are all COVID related tonight, and we got to talk about it because you people have all been calling me or emailing me today, stressed out, and so I gotta bring down the stress level a little bit, let a little bit of the air out of the balloon per se of the stress balloon. And talk about that because I've heard from people at all different levels of business today, all different levels, and stressing over different things. So the first side of this is, let me grab that. Hang on, one more thing. One more prop. I was so trying to get on here and be more 8 than ish tonight. I forgot all my props. I have props. I have to print another prop. So hang on 1 second for me. I was in my rush to be more 8 than ish. Tonight I forgot some of my props. There we go. All right. First of all, COVID is still out there in case you were unsure. In some parts of the country, it is out there more than others. If you are in a high vaccinated area of the country, COVID numbers are less, but still very real. Still very real. If you are in a part of the country where vaccinations are very low, okay, COVID is a higher number. Reality. Okay, that's just numbers, people. That's pink calculator. That is basic pink calculator stuff. That is not a political statement on it. I highly encourage vaccinations, but I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I'm just trying to be factual. Okay, and just give basic math here. That is the trend line. That's a non-emotional trend line that has nothing to do with anything. Hey, Glenda's here live tonight. Welcome to Canada. That means that those borders are opening up soon. I hope, Glenda. I hope that border's opening up soon. So that is very, very true. Okay, with in what is happening with the disease right now. Okay, but people in highly vaccinated areas can still get it. I've mentioned many times I'm concerned, I'm concerned for one of my locations where a higher percentage of the staff at that location is not vaccinated. Okay, but I have people at every location, even though 77% of my staff is vaccinated. The reality is, so I had 2 stores today with outbreaks in their stores. Okay, two store owners today with multi-employee outbreaks today. Okay, that lost several members of their staff today to to them working currently. They have not died. But they have real symptoms and really are not feeling well. This is not mild, you get tested and you don't feel anything. This is, they have active cases of COVID. And so with that, it's real important to remember to remind your employees to be doing the employee self-screening questionnaire that the National Retail Federation gave us many, many months ago. It's over at narts.org/resale strong, this form, this checklist. This is for them. You don't want to have this in your files every day. You don't want people submitting this to you. Unless you're a healthcare organization, you don't want people submitting this to you, but you want your team doing this. And if they are experiencing any of this, they should not be reporting to work. So let's just step through this. Do you have a fever of greater than 100 degrees Fahrenheit? And in fairness to our Canadians that tune in, greater than 37.8 degrees Celsius. Have you had the chills? Do you have a dry cough, a sore throat? Have you had the loss of taste or smell? Are you having shortness of breath? Are you having exhaustion and body aches consistent with flu-like symptoms? Or any other symptoms of acute respiratory illness? If you are, don't come to work and get tested. Have you taken any fever-reducing, symptom-reducing medication within the last 72 hours? If you have, don't report to work. Have you experienced any possible signs of fever? If you have, don't within the last 72 hours, don't report to work. Has anyone in your immediate household had any of these symptoms? If you have, don't report to work. That is and the last question is really, have you or any member of your household traveled to any areas with widespread sustained transmission of COVID, such as a hotspot area, which there are hotspots in this country, such as Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas. These are considered hotspots. So, so the rule of thumb, okay, from the CDC is if you are experiencing any of that, stay home and get tested. If you are not, you don't have to get tested, okay? But be vigilant and be aware. So people have let their guard down and they are not testing this. We review this with every new employee. I've talked about some of our new hires recently. So we are constantly reviewing this, okay? Because it's important, because it's real, because people are letting their guard down and it's sneaking up on us. So you can find that employee self-screening questionnaire. It's over at narts.org/resale strong. I haven't reposted it, but it is there. I go searching for it when I need it, but I have it in my this is in our employee packet. It's in a new hire packet. It's also in our time clock system so that people can review it on their own. But basically, if you're having any symptoms, stay home. So, I've had 2 stores today that now have a bunch of people out, okay, with COVID, okay, and that's really sad because that really, people are running short-staffed as it is, and if you lose half your staff to COVID, okay, for the next 10 days, okay, while they isolate and get better, okay, and we hope that no one gets severe COVID that needs to be hospitalized. I haven't had that in any of the stores that I've gotten calls from in the last few days, but this is real and this is really happening. So you need to be aware of it and you need to be vigilant. We need to keep our guard up, okay? We need to keep our guard up and not let our guard completely drop down with this because this is not over yet. So that is top of the program, the most important thing, because I don't want, it is painful to have these calls. When I have these calls with store owners, these emergency calls, what do? I've got 3 people with COVID. My staff is only 5 people. What do? No one, as we're going through this recovery, wants to be shut down for 10 days. Okay? No one does. No one wants to be sick. Okay? But no one wants to be shut down for 10 days. So be aware of that. We are also today, we have the updated guidance from the CDC on mask wearing. I wish it was a little more crystal clear than it is. I wish the mask wearing guidance from the CDC today. Hello, Jennifer. It is great to have you here live with us. I wish the mask wearing guidance was a little more crystal, okay, and really a little more black and white, because it really talks about if you're in a hotspot area or in a hotspot state, you should still wear a mask indoors. It doesn't say everywhere you should wear a mask indoors, although they said all schools, K through 12, should. They're recommending masks indoors, although they don't have the authority to mandate that. Okay, these are, again, the CDC just gives recommendations, and I wish their recommendations were more black and white. And until this is under control, we recommend everybody wear masks again. Would be an easier recommendation to follow than hearing, well, I'm not really in a hot spot. I mean, what's happening in that other state is more worse than what's happening in our state, or making you pick and choose how you decide if you're in a hot area. Ultimately, this all comes back to you are the governor. You, and you, and you. You are the governor. Do not forget that. Do not forget that. You are the governor. You are the governor. You get to decide what happens in your store, okay, to protect your family, your team, your community, your customers. I heard about Lollapalooza in Chicago, and the governor's going. Well, nobody's ever said, didn't you? Wasn't it like 3 out of the last 5 governors of Illinois ended out in jail? Or is my math slightly off in that? So, I mean, you're dealing with, politicians get to a level of ego. They got a lot of ego, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. I mean, they have a lot of ego to play in that circle. But remember, you get to make the decisions for your store. You get to make the decisions for your store, and you can change them. Yes, your governors do make your life someplace. And if not the governors, some of the mayors. You get to make the decisions for your store, for your team, and you get to change that decision. The decision you make today doesn't mean that it is cast in stone. You can change it. You can change it up should you need to change it. That's okay to change it. It is absolutely okay to change your decision. Based on new information, based on what's happening in your community, you can change it. That's okay. That's okay. Okay? The other big question I have been getting today, has been around, okay, are they going to close us down again? Okay, so it goes from COVID discussions to mask wearing discussions to is COVID going to shut us down again? Not by government order. Not by government order. I truly believe that it will not happen by government order. Okay, you will not get shut down by a government order again. But you may feel like it in certain areas of the country. You may feel like it because if things are bad enough, if mask wearing is mandated enough, if the case counts and numbers that the news media, and again, limit your news content, people, limit your news content. 5 minutes gives you all you need to know. Okay, don't do the Facebook death scroll. Limit your news content. But most people don't. Okay, and if the news content is bad enough in your area because of numbers and other things happening in your particular area with COVID, The government will not shut you down. I truly believe the government is not going to shut you down. But I do believe you will feel like you are shut down. Okay? Like last year, like the beginning of March last year when it was dead before you were forced to close. Okay, so I do believe that you could go through a period of a couple of weeks, a month even, where it feels like you are closed. I don't say that to scare anybody. I say that to be realistic. Okay, I can see that happening in some areas where cases are spiking. Okay, where your workforce is reduced because of this. Okay, I can see that happening. Uh, I I don't want it to happen, but I can see it happening. Okay, I can see that the potential for that happening. So know that that is a possibility. Know that could happen to you. Okay, and just be aware of it. The other side of that is, okay, while that could happen, just like it did a year ago, March, you are not the same business owner you were a year ago, March. You are not the same business you were a year ago, March. You are a better business owner. You are a more resilient business owner. You are a more adaptable business owner to the curves that are thrown at you. So, should you get a curveball, should things spike in your area, you are incredibly more resilient. Okay, incredibly more resilient. Okay, you can handle this. You can handle this. You've got this. You are definitely not Michelle. Absolutely, you are not the same business as you were last March. There's just no freaking way. There is no freaking way. You are not the same business. And that's great. That's great. I am glad you are not the same business. So you will continue to evolve, but you could have some of these hiccups. And because COVID is real, the disease controls the economy. You don't control the disease right now. The disease is not fully under control yet. We're headed in the right direction. We are headed overall as a country in the right direction, but we still have some work to do. So that is the important lesson. I don't want your stores to be like that, but it is real. It can happen. It can happen to my stores. It can happen to any of us. Okay, because some percentage of our population is unvaccinated. We know the numbers tell the story of vaccinations help keep those numbers down. That's just the simple numbers game of it. So that's the story with those concerns that I've had today, and I know that's a big deal. It's a big deal, but that's reminding your team about the self screening questionnaire. They should be screening themselves every time before they come to work. Your team should be screening themselves every day before they come to work. Don't let your guard down on this. Don't say it's just a sniffle. Don't say, it's just a scratch in my throat. Yeah, I felt a little hot today, but it's been hot. That's okay too, Michelle. You are going to get through this strong. You are going to make it through to the other side of this, no problem. You are going to. Don't you worry about it. I'm proud of you for paying off your idol. You are going to be just fine on the other side of this. I am 1000% convinced. I know you are. I know you are. Yeah, and that's why, and that's actually my next topic tonight is the idol, okay, which has been the other topic of the day. You guys write this show, not me. I mean, I planned to talk on dating tonight, okay? That was my plan, but you guys write this show. You guys write this show because I know when my phone starts ringing on these things, okay, that it's not just the people calling me that have these concerns or have these questions. Okay. It is everybody has these questions. Everybody has these concerns deep inside them. But I don't want to ask Neil. I don't want to bother him. I don't want to I know that. I know that. And that's why I when my phone and email starts going crazy with all the same stuff, that's when I say, okay, pause what I was going to talk about tonight. And this is what I need to talk about because this is the stuff you need to hear. So, yes, let's talk idle for a minute, okay? Because the good news is that people that have asked for an increase to their idles, remember, you can ask for an increase to your idle loan should you need it. And some businesses needed it, okay, to make it through to the other side of this. And that's fine. Okay, it is insurance. It is insurance. The idle is just that, insurance to help us get to the other side. It is insurance to get to the other side. Thank you, Jennifer. Um, uh, um, so idle increases have started to come through and started to get funded, okay, which is about just over 90 days, depending on when you ask for the increase. The increases are coming through. So that's a good thing for many businesses. You can't buy a boat with it. You can't buy a land boat with it. Okay? This is not boat money. This is not, I'm going to Disney. I got my idol. I'm going to Disney World money. This is not any of that. This is for your business. Okay, this isn't to go expand your business. This is to keep your existing business running. This isn't to go out and buy a new sports car. Okay, this is for operating expenses of your business. Okay, a couple of caveats with that. The interest on these loans starts on the day the money on the day your loan is funded. On the day your loan is funded, okay, and that's funded from the SBA, not necessarily the day it hits your account. So your interest starts a couple days before you have access to it. Okay, in most cases, it starts a couple days before you actually have access to it. That is step one. Step two is these are 30-year loans. Okay, any loan amount above $200,000 total. Okay, not $200,000. Or on the extension of your loan. So let's say your first loan you got 150,000, and now you got another 150,000. Let's say your first idle disbursement was 150,000, so it was less than 200, and now you've borrowed another 150,000. The total loan is now 300,000, which means there is now a personal guarantee on it. Okay, that you now have a personal guarantee on that note, and so that's just important to be aware of. I'm not saying it should make you do it or not do it, but soon as it's 200,000 and one penny, there you have to sign a personal guarantee of all shareholders of the company that own 20% of the company or more. So as soon as it is a penny over $200,000, that kicks into effect. So just be aware of it. Understand what you're signing. Understand what you're doing. The rest of it is pretty straightforward with the loan. But I know those of you that are waiting on this, okay, it's important. So know that it is coming, okay, that people are getting funded. I've had probably at this point, a little more than a dozen businesses in the last week on it that got funded, that were all early applicants for when they opened you to ask for an increase. And it's up to 24 months of operating capital with a cap of $500,000 right now. I have heard from my contacts at the SBA and in government, they are looking to lift the $500,000 cap Probably, I'm guessing after Labor Day or right around there. To the statutory economic injury disaster loan is $2 million. So the 500,000 limit will get lifted sometime this year. My guess is just after Labor Day, but based on the information I've got right now, but I will let you know on that. And I know people that can actually use that, okay, that have been really affected. So, and it doesn't matter what your idle amount is, and it's all relative to your business. So don't pick on the people that get 2 million or the people that get 500,000 or the people that got 10,000. It doesn't matter. But the important thing is that's flowing. It's important to understand the terms, and it's important to understand, as Michelle said, you can pay this off at any time. There's no prepayment penalty. You can make payments on the interest or any portion of it at any time. We've posted that website. It's over at narts.org/resalestrong, where you can follow your loan, you can see your current interest amount, and you can make payments on it. So all of that is doable, and you can do that at your convenience. But again, the idle is really insurance, because you can't be the best in business if you're not still in business. And I want you all still to be in business. So there you go, folks. That is tonight's That Delayed Dating. So that means we'll talk about dating tomorrow night. I've got dating to talk about. I've got why do people that work for me not do what they're supposed to do? Why? I have all these people. I hire them, and then they do whatever they want. We're going to talk about that this week, too. We're going to talk about that. Yes, we are. Okay? But that is what you needed to know tonight. That is the stuff you wanted to know tonight. And you know what else? This video and everything I talk about goes over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you, it's amazing. Everything's over there. All the files, all the links, including the employee self-screening questionnaire, is all over at narts.org/resalestrong, including a direct link to the YouTube channel You're Not Alone Running This Store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell so you know. Oh, I dropped the bell. So you know when a new video drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. We're going to help them all of them make it to the other side. Yes, we will. Yes, we will, people. Yes, we will. I am here every night, folks, in the Nards private Facebook group and streaming on YouTube at More 8 Than Ish live every night. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. If you were not here at the top of the program, our good morning tonight on page 72 is, things may never be like this again. That could be good news or bad news to you, but it's true nonetheless. Good morning. Our good night tonight is, everything is changing all the time. May as well lean into it. Good night. There's your graphics, folks. Oops. Hang on a second. I'm dropping stuff all over the place here. I'm caught on a wire. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abrams, and I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. We will party in person. Have you registered for the Narts virtual party this weekend yet? Get registered. What are you waiting for? But when we do party in person, I'm going to be there with you. Yes, I am. But until then, and until tomorrow night at More 8 Than Ish, know that you, but most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. It's time for dinner, everybody. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.